Good day, ladies and gentlemen. It's Eric Coffin, HR Advisories. It is Friday, September 22nd, 2023. I'm here at the September 2023 Mental Investors Forum. I'm here with Michael Wood. He's the chairman of one of the companies I invited to present. Very interesting deal. It's a new company. It's called Sendero Resources. It won't be trading for a week or two from the time this is taped, but the symbol will be SEND. Sendero has a really nice looking project. It's in the northern part of what's now called the Vicuna belt. And that belt, those of you that are familiar with the exploration business, with some of the big stories lately, if you think of the Lundin Group companies, namely Filo Mining, NGX, and Lundin Mining itself, those companies have had fabulous exploration success in this belt. And really, if you're interested in playing this belt and you're interested in looking at an earlier stage explorer, there's really only one or two choices, and the main one that's right in the belt is Sendero. Maybe you can give us a 2-minute version of how did this get pulled together? Like how are you suddenly in this company that's got this project in this area where there's really not much loose ground floating around at all?
Yeah, sure. No, great question, Eric. And our CEO, Hanan Vera, is a very established mining figure in Argentina. He ran Barrick, he ran Yamana, he ran Anglo Gold before that. And he privately bought this ground over the course of 2018 and 2019. And we got introduced to him in 2020. We spoke to him for about 6 months, and we had a lot on our plates, but it was just way too good to pass up. So in March 2021, we signed a deal. Hanan put in the ground, and we put in an initial $1 million. And then we've been advancing the property privately since then. And then earlier this year, we did our go public financing. We raised $5.9 million, and now we're just coming out and we'll start trading and start drilling. We've done a lot of geochemistry, a lot of geophysics, a lot of mapping behind the scenes, but we're chomping at the bit to drill. We want to get that drill money. It's not cheap drilling up in the Andes, so we want to get a minimum of at least 4 to drill. We ended up with way past that, so we're in a good financial position, and very, very excited to be owning the property and about to drill it.
And the property at Peñas, Negras, I've gone through with Michael. I've also gone through with Hernan on one call, but also with David Royal, your senior advisor on another. And there's a lot of good targets on this property, but as of right now, there's kind of 3 that you figure are slated to drill in this first maiden program.
Yeah, and I think we're really focusing on stuff that we feel is very close to surface in this initial drilling. We have some good targets that we know a bit deeper, but we want to, it's going to be 4,500 meters, this initial drill program. We don't want to be hitting targets where we've got to drill 150, 200 meters before we get to the target. So La Peña is where we'll start, and literally we've got a large diorite porphyry outcropping at surface, a very obvious target virtually from surface. So that we'll put the first 2 holes into that. The plan is to do 2 500-meter holes into that initially. And then we want to get down to really the most exciting part of the property, this clustering that we have at what we call Cerro Verde South and Tamborias, where we have a mixture of porphyry and epithermal systems, probably telescoped porphyry systems, which is common on the Vicuna belt. And we want to start testing that, because if we can start to show multiple porphyry centers, multiple epithermal systems in this cluster, then that takes this property to a whole new level. Right. So that's the focus of this initial drilling. Get the runs on the board with the easy, obvious target at La Peña, which we should get good mineralization virtually from surface, and then start to explore this big cluster in the southern part of the property.
And one thing that's worth noting, one thing that I noticed when I was going through the project with Dave Royal, because you think Andes, you think elevation, which is not wrong. The Vicuna belt pretty much straddles the top of the Andes, but for a couple of reasons, you guys actually have really good access. I was surprised at how much road there was the first time I looked at satellite photos of this.
Yeah, we have good access, and actually the ground is relatively flat. I think we have some good images as well that we'll get out more and more. We do have undulations and steep sections of the property, but a lot of it is actually very flat and easy to navigate in just a 4x4. But there's been a lot of historic work done on the property over the course of the 90s and the 2000s. Eldorado, the big drill campaign all the way back in 1995 to 1997, Anglo American did a pretty big campaign on the property from 2010 to 2013 and put all this infrastructure in place. We have a good camp already. We're going to upgrade the camp to be 30+ person camp for the season, but it's already a good camp on site. So yeah, we're exactly. It's important, and it saves us money. We don't have to go in and build all these access roads from scratch, build a camp from scratch. We already have good infrastructure on the property.
And you don't want to be trying to drag a drill around at 6,000 meters with a chopper, which is not a good place to be. I think it's the road that goes to Jose Maria, runs through the project.
Yeah, we share the same access road, and then we cut off. I think it's 8 kilometers is our own road, but the majority of the climb up is the same access road as Jose Maria.
And on top of these 3 properties, 3 targets areas where you're going to be drilling, there's actually quite a few others. So I guess the idea is you got a crew that's going in pretty soon, and they're going to be kind of expanding all the surface work and stuff, and then the drill comes in later. But I guess these guys are still going to be working on some of the other targets and kind of bringing them up to drill target status.
Exactly, and yeah, camp is due to open on October the 16th in a few weeks. We'll go in. We want to do detailed geophysics on the drill targets first. Get that done. We want to do 50-meter line ground mag spacing across the 3 main targets. We want to put some IP across that outcropping diorite porphyry, La Peña. But then, we've also got 2 other great targets that we're not planning to drill this season, La Gita and Cerro Verde North, that we want to advance to be drill ready, probably for the following year, the Argentinian summer of 24 into 25. Yeah. La Gita is where most historic drilling was done. It very systematically drilled, just focused on the gold. Back then, it was Eldorado gold in the mid 90s. They would hit porphyry and they would basically stop the hole. They were only interested in the epithermal. Right. So we definitely want to go and drill that. It's a bit deeper. That's why it's kind of not a priority. This initial season, we think probably kind of 150, 200 meters deep. We start hitting the porphyry. And then Cerro Verde North is a great target as well, and actually found a big magnetic anomaly, very similar to La Peña, same structural controls, regional north-northeast parallel faults with a cross-cutting northwestern fault, big magnetic anomaly there, which we're doing surface work on this season, talus fine sampling, rock chip sampling, and some ionic leaching. So we want to advance those 2 properties and then do this initial drilling. And I think at Cerro Verde South as well, we'll probably find more actual porphyry targets, and we expect to show when we drill that there's an epithermal element to them as well. Right. So and over at Tamborias. And I think we'll find the whole structure is a big circular structure, which we believe is a big eroded volcano. It was collapsed in, and we've got a lot of intrusives coming up, epithermal, porphyry. So it's a great area, and I think hopefully we find a number of porphyry, kind of telescope porphyry centers there in that zone.
Okay. There you have it, folks. I mean, this is a really, really nice looking set of targets. Extremely strong technical team behind Sendero, like really, really high level geos, both at the country level and at the consulting level and the board level. And it's not, it wasn't lost on me when I decided to buy this stock earlier this year and initiate coverage. I don't want to overplay this because I do, I wrote it up because they got a great project, they got a great team, and they got the money to explore it. But it's not lost on me that really this is one of 2 non-Lundin companies in this belt. They pretty much get everything else sewn up. So, I think if these guys get anything interesting, the attention level on this company goes through the roof, like overnight. So, I mean, that's definitely a factor. I mean, I bought it and I wrote it up because I like the targets, but it'll get attention very quickly if they hit something, because Vicuna is arguably the hottest mineral belt in the world, honestly. So this is something you really want to be paying attention to. They'll be published in a couple of weeks, simple as SEND. Thanks for coming by, Michael, and introducing us to the company.
Thanks for having me, Eric.